Hello there and welcome to my next project. Now most of you may know me from TikTok, but obviously some of you won't. Those of you that know me from TikTok will know me most likely for that. That being my 1994 Toyota Hilux 4x4, which I picked up last year and spent just a bit over a year restoring back to its former glory. And now with the Hilux being finished, it's time to tackle what is actually my main project and where my heart actually lies, which is this little thing. Now it has definitely seen better days, but this is my 1986 Toyota Kadett 1.6 GLS. Well, at least that's what the VIN tag says, because it's actually been modified to quite an extreme extent. Most extreme being this, its power plant, even though it's not currently in it. This is a 16 valve 2 liter 20xe Opel engine that normally has a turbo sitting right about there on the other side. And the reason it's currently been sitting is that last year around about this time it left me alongside the road. The ECU shat itself, and I ended up having to push it a whole 2 kilometers home, which was not fun. And it's been parked ever since, but now I can finally get it back up and running again, and I'm very excited for it. Problem is that 20xe lump is a very expensive engine to rebuild. So quite naturally it's going to take a while to get everything stripped, engineered, to find the parts, gather the parts, get the thing put back together again, get the new ECU, etc, etc, etc. So while I do all of that, or rather wait to do all of that, I'm going to spend my time doing some other modifications. But before I can do any of that, I need to take it apart. Well, take it apart even more than it already is. And just in case you guys couldn't already tell by me removing the bonnet in the literal first 5 seconds of this video, I'm going to start by dismantling whatever is inside of the engine bay, and obviously I'm going to start by getting rid of that gearbox right there. I do apologize for cutting my face out. And to easily remove and store the gearbox, I need to remove the CV shafts. But before I can do that, I need to drain the gearbox of fluids and also remove these castle nuts, or rather loosen them, before I can even think about loosening anything right about there. Just gotta apply some Q20 for good measure. Other side as well. I don't know what the Q20 is going to do to the paint on the wheel, so it might just be a good idea to go and wipe them off a little bit where I spilled. Now, I am sure that we have all experienced this at some point, where your mind sort of takes longer than normal to buffer, and due to that fact, nothing really goes quite right. Well, now in this case, it obviously didn't help that I didn't have the correct tools, but let's forget about that. And you will see me going back and forth on both sides, making the same mistakes, because, like I said, my mind has been taking longer to buffer than regular this day. Even though they were vastly underappreciated, the dogs were there for moral support. Now, I won't say much, but I will acknowledge the fact that the keen-eyed among you will pick up that I am still a little bit ham-fisted, and that I did make quite a few mistakes in removing the gearbox from the actual engine bay, but yeah, it's out. And as you can see, the gearbox is, out of the way. Now, I had a lot of confidence going into this, because I remember I've done this once before. I helped a buddy do an engine swap on his Golf. Turns out a Golf is much easier to work on than the Opel is. And for some reason I failed to comprehend that the Opel might be differently constructed than a Golf. So that also made life a bit more difficult for me, and I may or may not have broken something, but we'll get there when we get there. And before I remove that CV so I can store the gearbox away, I think it might be wise to go and consult my workshop manual, because I didn't consult the workshop manual for that one, and I think I might have damaged something. So before I damage something there, let me just go homework. And I am going to do the rest off camera, just because but yeah, before I end the video, this was my first ever YouTube video. Well, technically it still is my first ever YouTube video, so feel free to go down in the comments. Constructive criticism is very welcome. What did I do wrong? What can I do better? What can I improve on? And yeah, that's it. I will catch you guys in the next video.